Singapore is a small, urbanized island city-state in Southeast Asia at the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula. According to an official census in June 2024, Singapore's population is currently 6.04 million, made up of Singapore citizens, permanent residents, and foreign workers. Adventism first arrived in Singapore when it was still a British colony. Abram LaRue, an American missionary, visited Singapore and the surrounding regions between 1888 and 1903, distributing Adventist literature. Other missionaries like Griffith and Marion Jones, a husband and wife team, began medical missionary work in Singapore in 1904. It was believed that Singapore could be the headquarters of all missionary operations in this region, since it was at the crossroads of Southeast Asia. The first church building in Singapore was constructed at 5 Penang Road in 1909 and was used by 3 congregations until after World War II, where the congregations moved to form 3 new churches. This building would continue to be used as a health and welfare center until 1969. In 1951, the English-speaking congregation of the Penang Road Church found a new home on 120 Balestier Road, forming Balestier Road Church. Today, the church actively serves the community through evangelistic and ministry events, home visitations, and an annual Christmas community event. Balestier Road Church also hosted a Malay-speaking group that would eventually form their own church at 730 Dunman Road in Katong. Also known as Maranatha Hall and Dunman Road Church, Maranatha SDA Church organizes evangelistic and health programs for the Geylang Serai constituency, like the Pay It Forward program, monthly wellness workshops, and annual camps. The Chinese-speaking congregation of the Penang Road Church would eventually move to 297A Thompson Road, forming the Seventh-day Adventist Chinese Church, also known as Thompson Road Church. This church actively reaches out to the Moulmein Carnhill constituency through its Pay It Forward program, collaborations with the Golden Clover Adventist Active Center, and its ministries to the Sanyu Adventist School, which shares its campus with the church. In 1963, Singapore, now independent from British rule, merged with other former colonies into Malaysia, but would eventually become an independent country in 1965. As a result, the Singapore Mission was formed under Southeast Asia Union Mission, separating from Malaysia Mission in 1988. The early 1980s saw the importance of establishing an Adventist presence in Western Singapore. 2 churches had formed in the West in the 60s and 70s, Queenstown English Church and the Queenstown Seventh-day Adventist Company, serving English and Chinese-speaking congregations. They eventually moved to Jurong East Street 13 in 1986, forming the Jurong English and Chinese churches. The 2 churches would eventually merge, serving the community through childcare services via Adventist Schoolhouse, small group ministries, the Pay It Forward program, and collaborations with Golden Peony Adventist Aging Center. What initially began in 1972 as a Voice of Prophecy Club eventually transformed into Chuan Ho Church in 1988. This church also reaches out to the community through faith and wellness activities. Church communities also grew in the schools and hospitals established by Adventism in Singapore, like at the Southeast Asian Union College and Youngberg Memorial Adventist Hospital. After a government acquisition of the hospital and college's properties in 1996, the 2 churches merged and moved to 798 Thompson Road, now known as the Seventh-day Adventist Community Church, or SDAC. The church serves the community through ministry to migrant workers and collaborations with a residents community in Topayo. As part of an Adventist Global Mission outreach program, the Singapore Mission began to reach out to various ethnic foreign groups. In 2007, outreach among Indian migrant workers began, resulting in the formation of the Indian Church from 2011 to 2018. Eventually, the church merged with the Seventh-day Adventist Community Church after 2018. The Filipino SDA Church was also founded in 2011, having its own church between 2013 and 2019, before moving to 798 Thompson Road, sharing its location with SDAC. This church serves the community through its volleyball tournaments, small group outreach, and evangelistic events. In 2011, Singapore achieved conference status and was renamed the Seventh-day Adventist Conference Singapore in recognition of its independence and maturity. Recognizing that growth is not only measured in numbers and baptisms, the Singapore Adventist Conference created a discipleship mission and vision, calling Adventists in Singapore to truly be disciples of Jesus. Today, Singapore still sits at the crossroads of Southeast Asia, so we strive to collaborate, innovate, and learn new strategies in discipleship and evangelism relevant to our time and place, and go forth as disciples of Jesus who do the things that he taught, to minister to the community and world around us.